Notwithstanding that, he's going to sell his shareholding, and Palace then will remove any doubt. I actually think they would have found their way through it either way. But I think by selling his shareholding, and it looks like it's going to be to Woody Johnson, then he clears up any concerns, and Crystal Palace go forward.
Meanwhile, talkSPORT understands Brentford are closing in on appointing Keith Andrews as their new manager. He's in advanced talks over stepping up from set-piece coach to replace Thomas Frank. Lions and England's second row Ollie Chesham says whoever they face in any of the Australia Tour's provincial warm-up games will be bang up for the contest.
I'm sure for the Western Force lads and all the teams that we face in the future to be part of a team that, potentially beats the Lions is, going to be a massive thing for them. So we expect to face the best of everyone, but then, we expect to put the best of ourselves out there. And, if I get the opportunity this weekend, then I'm like everyone in this camp there, chomping at the bit to put on the shirt and play for the Lions and hopefully, who knows.
It's after Wallabies coach Joe Schmidt has warned he won't release players from his squad for those games. But Lions CEO Ben Calverley says that's not what was in the contract.
The agreement is very clear. It says that Test players have to be released to play in the fixtures leading into that Test series, and so that's our expectation.
And one of Celtic's Lisbon Lions, John Clark, has died at the age of 84. Martin O'Neill managed the Hoops, and Clark was his kit man.
Just say at the end of the game, I was always like the last one to leave the dressing room, and I would be sitting down having a conversation with John Clark, just running through the game. I had the utmost regard for him, as a judge of football as well too, and as a player in the Lisbon Lions. He was a really, really great man.
All the latest is at talksport.com.
You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. We're building up to breakfast back at 6 o'clock this morning with Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour. But coming up for you now, here's Sam with all the details. Morning.
Yes, good morning. England are ready to make history on the final day in the first test at Headingley. Can England reach their second highest run chase if the rain stays away? And as Will's just told us, that doesn't seem all that likely, but we'll see. Everything you need to know coming up. In the Club World Cup, Atletico Madrid are out. We'll build up to Chelsea in action late tonight, aka tomorrow morning, live on talkSPORT. Brad Pitt's new movie F1 had its premiere last night. The big man himself's been speaking to talkSPORT's John Jackson. So has Gareth Bale. You'll hear from both of them on the red carpet. Plus everything transfers, front and back pages of the papers, and everything else you need to know as well.
Yeah, you're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. Insurance for the individual. Find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. In terms of the cricket, we've not had rain in what? How many days are we thinking now of no rain? I'm thinking about 9 days.
Yeah, that's very true. We haven't had very much rain, have we? We had a tiny, tiny bit of drizzle. It
didn't happen,
didn't it? But
nothing happened.
Nothing really
Just
happened.
like a little...
Today's not the day for it, though, is it?
Spit.
Yes, it was.
And then today it's like, oh, hello. Might rock up and ruin the party for everyone.
Yeah.
I also have pink eye.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How did that happen?
You know what the rumour is about pink eye?
Go on.
Have you heard it?
Are you allowed to reveal this on national radio?
I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Apparently it means someone farted on your pillow.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. That's got to be a myth, isn't it?
I think so.
That's got to be a myth.
Well, I hope so.
Somebody did that. What, like
Jamie,
before? Like hours before? You lie on it and all of a sudden get the remnants?
I don't know. I just hear it's a rumour, but I've had a sty.
Yeah.
There's no contact line stuck in there.
Yeah.
Now it's pink eye this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think it might be waking up at 2:30 that does that, you know. So.
No, that's really good for the soul.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
definitely
really
is.
good for you.
It's good for the soul.
It makes you feel great.
Yeah, it's like one of these new wellness methods, isn't it? Everyone should be up at 2:30 having a cold shower.
It's like being at the spa.
Yeah.
How are you? Okay?
I'm all right, yeah. I'm all right.
What's been happening in your life?
What's been happening? Well, I was at Royal Ascot last week, of course. Had a lovely time.
I heard you got a bit, what was the word, squiffy?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been told by the producer of The Breakfast Show, who's even posher than me, by the way, that I can't use that word on national radio, so I can't use it anymore.
Not without becoming a target.
Instead.
What?
Gazeboed. That's
you can't say that either.
No.
Did you say I was
drunk.
lashed?
I wasn't lashed, actually. I wasn't at all.
I was off my face.
No, I definitely wasn't. No,
out my bin.
No, there was none of that going on. I was very responsible. I'm always very responsible when I represent talkSPORT in an international and national setting.
It's because you can't handle it.
That's exactly what it is, to be fair. There's no point me trying to get drunk because I can't manage it anyway.
Yeah.
Can I? You've seen me.
Standing there spewing all over yourself.
After a pint.
Farting on pillows.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. What about you? How's your world? You were on breakfast yesterday?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Very, very good. I've enjoyed this lovely weather. Kids are good. Jamie's good. Life is good.
Life is good. Well, that's
very
nice,
good.
Isn't it? That's nice.
Yeah, it's.
Let's hope we get more of this nice weather because it's been rather delightful, hasn't it?
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
It really does.
Get my tan on.
It's easier to get out in the morning when it's nice and warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm in a t-shirt today. That's very unusual, by the way. I've got my arms out. Sun's out, guns out.
Nice arms, by the way.
Thanks very much.
Fabulous arms on you there, so we don't see them often, but he's got them out today.
You don't.
Sun's out, guns out. Okay, looking at the back pages for you. Red hot is the headline in the Sun. Red for Man United's second bid of 60 million on Mbermo. Mbermo or Mbumo?
Mbermo.
Yeah. Hot Maresca, heat makes full training impossible. Talking about the Club World Cup. We'll focus on their game at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Back page of the Times. It's all of the cricket. Let's make history. Headingley does not disappoint. Elizabeth Eamon, right and tongue, takes key wickets and says England can reach 371, their second highest run chase ever. Looking forward to that. It's also on the back page of the Mail. We can pull off another miracle. Go back to Ben Stokes, obviously, at Headingley in 2019. That was incredible. And the Telegraph saying for England vow to pull off another epic run heist. In other news, talkSPORT has been on the red carpet. I love it when we get to go to red carpets. It's fun. The F1 movie launched last night in London's West End. A-lister Brad Pitt, the absolute dogs, was playing a washed-up F1 driver who returns from retirement to mentor a hotshot rookie. So that's the kind of storyline of the movie F1. talkSPORT's motor racing correspondent, another hotshot here, John Jackson, has spoken to a big number of names on the carpet who attended the premiere, including Brad Pitt himself. John, was he asking for me and my pink eye? But let's start with hearing now from Real Madrid, Spurs and Wales legend Gareth Bale, who's recently been linked with a takeover at Cardiff as part of an ownership group. But what was he doing on the red carpet? Well, here's John Jackson. Oh, sounds like something is happening there. The Plymouth Argyle thing, that was just last week in the papers, wasn't it? Where did that come from? I don't know. Silly season, no football, real football to focus on here. So kind of rumours get made up and hit the papers and we all kind of jump on it. So Plymouth Argyle ruled out, not to be a thing, but it's certainly interest there in taking over at Cardiff. I'm sure fans would absolutely love that. It seems to be the new thing with former players now going down this route, the modern phenomenon, big names when they retire. Beckham, Zlatan, Luka Modric, Gary Neville, Drogba, many others going down this ownership in clubs route. And certainly if they're investing in the club and have a love and passion for it, I think get in there if you've got 50 million to play with, why not? As part of the F1 movie, Lewis Hamilton helped Brad Pitt learn the ropes behind the wheel of an F1 car. Yeah, that happened. Was he a good teacher though? I think Lewis Hamilton seems lovely, and I loved seeing those pictures of them at Silverstone together making the movie, and I thought, oh, the conversations that they must be having. Brad Pitt is such a legend. But speaking of Lewis Hamilton, did his influence stretch beyond the driving when John Jackson spoke to legendary composer Hans Zimmer, as you do, about whether the 7-time world champion had a hand in any of the music in the movie? What would those ideas be? To be fair, you can't knock a good bit of driving music to like chill you out. Maybe Hans Zimmer and Lewis Hamilton can compose a little album to chill out some angry drivers. That could happen. In fact, my driver could have used that this morning, to be fair. Just looking at some of Brad Pitt's movies, he is the man, isn't he? He's unbelievable. Fight Club. Looking forward to see this F1. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. 7. 7. That's one of my all-time favourite movies. 81089. You can let me know what your favourite Brad Pitt movie is. Did you see the one with him and George Clooney? It's very new. Quite recently, I think, just came out last year. It's called Wolves. That's excellent. If you haven't seen that yet. Just both of them together, like the Oceans movies. They're just the best to watch. But Brad Pitt, speaking to talkSPORT last night at the F1 red carpet movie premiere. You can watch it all on our website, talksport.com, or on the YouTube channel as well. By the way, speaking of kind of shows with like the sports kind of theme, there's a new show on Apple TV. It's called Stick with Owen Wilson, and it's kind of similar to the F1 movie. You know, there's like a young rookie and then a kind of washed up golfer who used to be brilliant in his heyday but kind of didn't quite happen, and he kind of takes the reins and shows them the ropes and whatever like that. It's called Stick. It's on Apple TV. It's very, very good. Anyway, let's focus on some of the transfer news at the minute. Man United have launched a second bid of around £60 million for Brentford forward Brian Mbeumo. Brentford turned down the Red Devils' initial bid of £45 million plus £10 million in add-ons recently, but it's believed the player is keen to move. Man United podcaster Joe Smith from the Stretford Paddock is glad to see United targeting the best of the rest in the Premier League.
At the start of the year, we spoke so much on our channel about how poor United's attack was, the potential for numbers in that attack, even at their best, especially once Marcus Rashford had left. We always knew that getting goals was just going to be almost impossible. And then immediately you rectify that by bringing Mateus Cunha, and now it looks like Brian Mbeumo, who I think between them got somewhere approaching 50 Premier League goals and assists last season. It's a much better team, and I just think that the errors that we had last time, the mistakes that we've made over the last few seasons. Before Mason Mount, United had only made, including Mason Mount, United had only made one signing from a fellow Premier League team in 5 years, and that used to be the sort of foundation, the bread and butter of how United would get to the top and stay at the top. It's by taking the best players from the teams in and around the middle of the Premier League table, and I'm glad that we're going back to that principle. I think it's a very solid one, and it's one that's served a lot of teams very well.
Joe Smith there. Yeah, it's a tough time, isn't it, at Man United? I feel like we need to kind of work and trying to change the narrative, and I think the players that Ruben Amorim is interested in and who his kind of targets suit the way it should be for Manchester United. I think Brian Mbeumo would be a very good signing to the club. We know he's Premier League proven. And then you think about what he's going to leave behind at Brentford as well, where they're at in their situation. They've lost Thomas Frank to Spurs. Could they be about to lose last season's top scorer? That could be an issue for Brentford fans. Current B set-piece coach and former Republic of Ireland midfielder Keith Andrews is the name in the frame to replace Thomas Frank as head coach, but that isn't an appointment that would fill Rory Jennings with inspiration.
Brentford, they've lost Mbeumo, they've lost Frank, and talkSPORT understands that Keith Andrews is a contender to replace Thomas Frank as Brentford manager. Andrews has been the Bees' set-piece coach since last summer. A set-piece coach replacing Thomas Frank at Brentford. Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, you're looking at who goes down.
Yeah.
And we know the impact of a manager, and I don't want to be snide here to Brentford. But suddenly, I feel like you're the next cab off the rank to go down if you are a set-piece coach being thrown in the deep end, the lion's den of the Premier League.
You know, when you say, I don't mean to be snide, but then you say something really snidey. That is what Rory has just done there. I don't know. Brentford fans, you can let us know your thoughts on this. Keith Andrews, does he fill you with confidence to be the new manager of the club? 81089 03717 223344. Good morning to Sam from Kelsall. He says, Troy, that's got to be the best Brad Pitt movie. I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen it, but I'll put it on my Brad Pitt list. There's a list. Coming up next for you on Early Breakfast, we're going to look at today's back pages. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. How you doing today? You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. You can get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux Insurance for the individual. Shebahn with you here till 6 o'clock this morning. Then it's like a Friday on a Tuesday because it's Alan Brazil alongside his best mate Ray Parlour and tennis bad boy Nick Kyrgios. I was going to say Andy Murray just for a laugh, but Nick Kyrgios is going to be with the guys here in the studio from 8 o'clock this morning on talkSPORT Breakfast. Very much so looking forward to hearing from him. Don't forget you can listen to all of our stations on the talkSPORT app. If you're at home and you've got a smart TV, why not whack us on? You can watch the whole stream from the studio there, and also you can stream us on YouTube as ever. Some of your headlines you're waking up to today: England's cricketers need 350 more runs to take victory against India on the final day of the first test at Headingley. Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett will resume on 21 without loss. That should be hopefully a blockbuster finish. Let's hope. Fingers crossed, without any rain. Former footballers Jimmy Bullard and Peter, what's his name? Odemwingie fell short of their bids to play at the Open Golf next month. They both entered regional qualifying tournaments but failed to achieve the necessary rankings to reach the final qualification event. YouTuber Peter Finch has made it through to the next round and a step closer to competing at the final men's major of the year. I don't know about you, but I find myself watching so much golf YouTube channels at the moment. You know, like the kind of celebrities that take up golf and start their own channels and all that kind of stuff. It's actually addictive. It's the best. There's these guys called Four Brothers. They've got a really good channel just now. Very good fun. The only thing that makes my husband smile at the moment is watching these guys play together on YouTube. Also, Crystal Palace's hopes of playing in Europe next season appear to have been boosted, with John Textor selling his 43% stake in the club. So the New York Jets owner, Woody Johnson, will buy his shares, with the deal eliminating the risk of Palace breaching UEFA's multi-club ownership rules. Textor holds shares in French club Lyon and will also play in the Europa League next season. Once the deal is approved by the Premier League, Palace's place in the competition should be confirmed. Fingers crossed for you there, Palace fans. Former Palace owner himself, Simon Jordan, says Textor has taken a cut, but it should help the football club.
Textor has decided to sell his shares.
And has managed to do it.
And has taken a haircut to do it.
Oh, really?
Taken a significant haircut.
What are we talking about? 200 million?
200 million euros is what is being reported. I think he made an offer for the club, the whole club, for a lot more than that was worth.
Right.
And from his point of view, I think he has some rancor there. But notwithstanding that, he's going to sell his shareholding, and Palace then will remove any doubt. I actually think they would have found their way through it either way. But I think by selling his shareholding, and it looks like it's going to be to Woody Johnson,
owner of the New York Jets,
then he clears up any concerns, and Crystal Palace go forward.
Ideal, isn't it, to have Simon Jordan when discussing things like this? If there's one man who knows, it's Simon Jordan. He's back at 10 o'clock this morning alongside Jim White. For more on this, Palace fans, you can jump onto our website, talksport.com. The rustling in the background is Sam Stevens, who's here with his papers.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's not really ASMR, is it, for those people like that?
Honestly, you're like a cat burglar. You'd never know. You'd never know he's there.
I'm here. Can you tell? Now, I like the way that the Referees Association do this at the time of the year when they can hide away their stories and not be too noticeable. Have you seen this morning? Refereeing errors fell to an all-time low in the Premier League last season.
That's it now.
Despite a series of controversies, according to the Prem's key match incident panel, there were just 18 VAR errors over 380 matches of the 24-25 campaign. I wonder if any fans can think of more than 18 errors for possibly even their own teams last season. The reduction was largely down to fewer missed VAR interventions on subjective decisions. Not convinced that we're there yet, are we, Shebs, that we can be making these kind of claims?
I suppose you can't be negative on it all the time. But I think that's still quite a lot. Yeah, we're not there yet. And you're right, it takes this time of season where maybe there's not so much of a focus on it. These admissions should come straight after.
Yes.
And sometimes they do. Sometimes you'll hear from former referees saying they got that one wrong. Sometimes apologies will come in the form of a statement from the PGMOL further down the line. It's fine to admit, got that wrong, and in every way, in every walk of life, sorry, got that wrong, and people will forgive you, and we can move on, it's cool. But I just feel the errors should be less and less. And what was last year? Does it say the year before?
It says it was down 42% on the 31 from 23-24.
There we go. Let's have the positive outlook. We are getting there. VAR, I love you.
Yeah, the panel ruled VAR should have recommended red cards for Everton's James Tarkowski in the final Merseyside derby and Brighton's João Pedro against Brentford. The Bees were hardest hit with 3 mistakes which should have been changed in their favour, with the Toffees seeing 3 errors go their way. And as it says here, that VAR checks were significantly speeded up. Semi-automated offsides help, don't they? They do help with being able to make things... there's still those ridiculous, weird, subjective offsides where you can kind of get the referee to have a look at a screen to determine whether it's offside. But I think for the most part, anything that can help speed things up has got to make a difference, because fans in stadiums are getting absolutely sick of it. And I think what's interesting is that a lot of... I hear a lot of people say they don't go to too many games anymore, and when they do go... They sort of get driven mad by the VAR experience, because you don't really know what's going on, and that is so tough. That's so tough for the match going.
Yeah, and never mind then the celebration, and then the other awkward celebration afterwards. If the goal stands, if it's ruled out, like that joy and happiness, all these things they're trying to put right. I understand that, but I do see VAR now at football games as an opportunity to go for a pee.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's right. 5 minutes. Quickly get yourself a pee, go for a pee, have a pint, and well, you can't really have a pint, can you? But have a pie.
Probably do both now.
Quick pie, quick nibble, and you're back in. Now, Enzo Maresca claims the heat is hitting Chelsea's Club World Cup bid because it's almost impossible to train. We'll hear from him later on. We're looking ahead to the game against ES Tunis, live on talkSPORT later on. The Blues boss cut short his final training session ahead of their decisive game with ES Tunis. Temperatures neared 40 degrees. And with Philadelphia under a code red severe weather alert, it's still unlikely to be well over 30 degrees when they play in the early hours of tomorrow at 9 p.m. local time. Chelsea used giant fans to spray cold water over sweltering players during a brief tactical session on the outskirts of Philadelphia. Really interesting thoughts from Jamie O'Hara on this on the Sports Bar. Again, we'll hear these later. his views on playing in these kind of temperatures. But this is, I mean, whatever you might think about the Club World Cup, this is not ideal, is it? Playing in this kind of temperatures, it's absolutely energy sapping. It ruins the pace of the game, and for anything else, it's just hard work, isn't it, all round?
I mean, it's extreme weather everywhere. Like you say, there's this red hot warning that's going around in these parts of the States, Philadelphia, under this code red weather alert. They're preparing for what's going to be a World Cup next year in this country. So it's the best preparation if it is like this, which it might be next year. My sister's out in Denver just now with Republic of Ireland. They're playing the USA this week in a friendly. And she texts me saying it's to be 39 degrees, might die, good knowing you. Like as if it is just the most stifling heat,
right?
You know, so running in it is, you know, for 90 minutes, it's looking going, hold on a minute, how are we actually going to get through this? We're just not used to it. We're not used to those conditions. That's why they're saying some of the South American teams might be starting to flourish at the Club World Cup because they can be used to these conditions.
Yeah, true.
But then we discussed this last week, didn't we, with Thomas Tuchel, the last camp, that he's working on that with the players.
Yes.
He's giving them those tablets, putting them in the watt bike, putting them in the hot room, seeing how they deal with that pressure, how the body, you know, copes with the stress. Certainly something you're not used to. It just feels like hell. Harry Kane liked it though, didn't he? He said this is a good challenge for us for the World Cup next year.
Well, they have to get used to it. I mean, there's no choice of that. I mean, one thing I think FIFA might do, and we haven't had them confirmed yet, but I think this has probably been a bit of a water tester for it, is kickoff times. I mean, the fact is their attendances have been down a little bit, particularly for these games that are played earlier in the day, local time. I just don't think that if they're going to be facing 40-degree temperatures, that FIFA are going to be able to have like local midday kickoffs. I think they're going to have to think about moving them much later in the day.
Well, that is why Chelsea's has been moved.
Yes, that's right.
To, you know, again, later on, it's 9 p.m. their local time, which is 2 a.m. our time. Is that right? So they have to accommodate for the heat because it's just dangerous. It's not only just dangerous for the players, but the fans sitting there, all this kind of stuff. It's uncomfortable. It doesn't make it enjoyable if people are passing out and are handing out water and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't make for the best entertainment and the best end.
It doesn't. I think the trouble with 2 a.m. kickoffs is they're not very sociable for the sort of European audiences, are they? Which, I mean, you know, we can't always care about the European audiences, but when that's a big portion of it,
though, Sam.
It's very good for us. You know, we'll be reacting to the game.
It's good for you if you're listening at this time and you're normally about at this time.
Yeah, well, if you like Paul Ross, you'll certainly like it.
Exactly that. What I was going to say, favourite Brad Pitt movie?
Definitely Fight Club. I mean, I think that's an absolute classic, isn't it? It's an absolutely legendary film. I do like Fight Club. That would be the one for me. What did you say yours was?
Seven.
Yeah, that's a good movie too. That's a good movie, yeah.
In fact, somebody's been in touch here. Just checked. Brad Pitt's 61. He still looks about 41.
Yeah, ridiculous.
That's Max. Good morning, Max. 81089. He is. He just looks so well. And I heard recently that apparently a number of like the big timer A-list celebrities keep well because their hormones are all balanced, so they don't get work done. They just have their hormones balanced out and measured, and that can keep you looking young and youthful. So I've just signed up to get my hormones checked. Sam, thank you very much. You can keep your best Brad Pitt movies coming in. I'm collating a list of everything I've not seen. 81089 coming up next on Early Breakfast. Everything you need to know from the Club World Cup and what's ahead in the next 24 hours. Morning.
How do you solve a problem like Garnacho? Well, Troy Deeney's got one idea.
I'd wait till he come back and first day I'd just smash him. I would. I genuinely would. I'm not even trying to make headlines. I'd smash him. I'd just be like, this is Man United.
Simon Jordan has, should we say, a more tactile approach.
Players don't like getting fined, especially if it's weeks and weeks.
Would you fine Garnacho for this?
As an owner, yeah, I probably would, yeah.
Crystal Palace's European adventure should be a go after John Textor agreed to sell his shares to New York Jets owner Woody Johnson. The deal, believed to be worth around £190 million, is now going through Premier League approval. Jordan reckons it was a cut price.
He made an offer for the club, the whole club, for a lot more than that was worth. And from his point of view, I think he has some rancour there. But notwithstanding that, he's going to sell his shareholding, and Palace then will remove any doubt.
And one of Celtic's Lisbon Lions, John Clark, has died at the age of 84. Martin O'Neill managed the Hoops, and Clark was his kit man.
Just say at the end of the game, I was always like the last one to leave the dressing room, and I would be sitting down having a conversation with John Clark, just running through the game. I had the utmost regard for him, as a judge of football as well too, and as a player in the Lisbon Lions. He was a really, really great man.
All the latest is at talkSPORT.com.
How you getting on? You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. The cover you need at a price you'll love with What's Fans Insurer of the Year 2021. You can find out more at adrianflux.co.uk. Shebahn with you. Good morning. I hope you're doing okay. Much cooler today, isn't it? I think we all needed that. Like literally walking out the house over the last few days has been like poof, smacked in the face with the heat. Today it's a bit breezier. It's a bit cooler, hopefully no rain, because Headingley could be an absolute cracker today. talkSPORT will have you covered from Headingley in the last day of the test. This afternoon, around about 11 o'clock, this morning, it'll all get underway. Sam Ellard will keep you posted as ever here on talkSPORT. Some of your other headlines you're waking up to today. Some transfer news to bring you up to speed with, actually. Leeds have completed the signing of Slovenian defender Jakub Biol from Udinese on a 5-year contract. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace have signed Argentine goalkeeper Walter Benitez from PSV. That's on a free. And West Brom have signed Nat Phillips from Liverpool for an undisclosed fee. Kirsty Coventry will have her first official day as an International Olympic Committee president. Today, she has become the first woman and first African to hold the position. Coventry, who won 2 Olympic gold medals for Zimbabwe, was voted in by the IOC members in March to replace Thomas Bach after 12 years in the role. And in the Club World Cup, overnight there were 2 draws. Al Ahly and Porto drew 4-4, while Inter and Palmeiras finished 2-2. That put Palmeiras and Messi's into Miami through to the knockout phases, dumps out the Portuguese giants. Meanwhile, Atletico Madrid have crashed out despite a 1-0 win against Botafogo. The Brazilians qualifies at Atleti, would have needed to win by 3 goals to take that place. PSG finished top with 2-0 win over Seattle Sounders. Sounds like a band. Today's fixtures see Auckland City take on Boca Juniors, Benfica take on Bayern Munich. That game is going to be live on talkSPORT 2. 8 o'clock tonight, all of the commentary on that one for you. talkSPORT 2, 8 o'clock. We've also got commentary of selected games throughout the Club World Cup, including Chelsea against AS Tunis tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you're up and about at this time, it's absolutely perfect for you. Paul Ross is going to keep you covered on that game. Chelsea against AS Tunis. They need a win to get through to the knockout stages. For more on these stories and Club World Cup action, you can jump onto our website, talksport.com. The heat seems to be an issue over in Philadelphia, where Chelsea are just now. Big fans with cold water blasting out over the training pitches to keep the guys cool and hydrated, but almost becoming a little bit unbearable and impossible to train, is what Enzo Maresca was saying to the press yesterday. Right, there was another big story over the weekend. This kind of broke on Sunday, didn't it? It was Alejandro Garnacho. Didn't do himself any favours, did he? When it came to the Manchester United fans, the current situations that they find themselves in the club. Marcus Rashford up to it as well. Rashford openly admitted that he fancies a move to Barcelona. And Alejandro Garnacho posted a picture of himself on Instagram wearing an Aston Villa shirt with Rashford's name and number on the back of it. The behaviour of both of the players was discussed yesterday here on talkSPORT. So on Drive, Dad and Ben explained to Andy Goldstein why neither player has earned the right to be so outspoken.
I've got a problem with it, right? I've got a slight problem with it, but where I'm like, is because Manchester United let him go out on loan. So that tells you that he's surplus requirements at United anyway. So regardless whether he goes out and says he wants to play for Barcelona or not, I don't think Manchester United want him back there anyway. So that doesn't do any more harm than good. But I think the best thing for Manchester United certainly is to cash in on the two players, get as much money as you can, and let the manager go and pick who he wants to buy.
Well, it's three, right? It's those two and Jadon Sancho they've got to get rid of.
Yeah. I mean, Jadon Sancho's issue was more with Ten Hag, though, wasn't it? They had the beef. But this is my problem. Like, it's not just Ruben Amorim. This problem has been festering for a while, hasn't it? Because you had the Ten Hag situation with Jadon Sancho. We had Ronaldo. But then, even though I'm not condoning what Ronaldo did, because what he did at Brentford when he came off with the boots and the manager had to go and speak to him, I don't agree with. But he's earned the right to do that because of what he's done in his career. Like I don't know, mate. He has.
No one's bigger than
the club. But in terms of throwing your toys at the pram, the guy's been professional from the day he got here, and now he's gone to be one of the greatest ever players.
I disagree.
Oh no.
If you're a football player and there's a manager in charge of you, you have to respect the manager 100%.
I get it, but
don't matter who you are.
But my point
don't
is,
matter who you are.
My point, no, I think there's levels because I
don't think there are levels.
There is, man. Garnacho certainly can't do it.
Garnacho certainly can't do it.
But Ronaldo is probably one of the most professional people we've ever seen in terms of the way he looks after himself.
Yeah.
He prepares for games.
Yeah.
He came back. He criticised Manchester United and said the club hasn't moved forward since I left. So I think I'm not condoning it because it's poor what he did. My point is, if anyone has got kind of the right to do it, it's him. But not these young guys that haven't achieved anything yet.
Yeah, I'm inclined to completely agree with Dad and Ben on that. Yeah, you can let us know your thoughts on this. I mean, it's rumbled on. Jamie O'Hara last night was saying in the sports bar, what is the deal? You know, this is just this time of season where there's not much to focus on, whereas this little picture becomes a massive deal. It's just a lad on his holiday. It's quite a cool picture. I don't think it's cool. I think it's cringe. And then at the same time, I'm like, he's 20. He's 20. Has he really been that calculated to noise up his club? And then I think, yeah, maybe. I think it actually has been. It's not a good look, but it is only a picture at the end of the day. It's clear that there's no love lost between him and Ruben Amorim. I think Amorim said he better pray he finds a new club to go to. So probably Garnacho is going to lash out and act like that on social media, because if you do it on social media, you are the big yin, aren't you? Former Premier League manager Martin O'Neill was on with White and Jordan yesterday. He said that managers might be put off by both players due to their off-field antics.
You look at their behaviour. I mean, Garnacho was he was obviously disappointed to get left out of the Europa League final, and there was a case for him maybe to start in the game. That's obviously the manager's decision. He didn't play him or brought him on very, very, very late. Then what happened? No, you can be disappointed. I was disappointed not playing in the European Cup final, the first one. But then his brother goes on to social media, gives a lot of stick. The one thing you do, just keep family out of it if you can't fight your own battles. But it's the whole attitude, and it's this attitude, and whether it is just them, there's not a chance of you as a manager. Let's say the owner of a football club comes to you as a manager and said, would you be interested in these two lads because you can get them at cut prices in terms of transfer? Maybe the wages might be a different thing. You wouldn't look near it. You genuinely wouldn't look near it because you think to yourself, well, the first time I have to leave them out, what's going to happen? They're going to cause friction again. They're going to have and you need to be, as managers, need to be winning games.
Both of them are outstanding players. There's no doubt about that, and are brilliant on their day, and they're brilliant when things are going well from them. But when the chips are down, you start to see these sides of the players that they've just, it's really hard to like them, just putting it bluntly. And I hate to say that about a 20-year-old lad. Rashford's a wee bit older. I'm not sure if he gets the best advice around him from the decisions that he's made in the past. And for that, I feel for him ever so slightly. But also, they're extremely wealthy. And that amount of wealth at such a young age, I think, could maybe make you just make silly decisions. You just think you think you're the hot ticket. You're the guy about town. You can do whatever the hell you want. But looking at that picture of Garnacho, and you've probably seen it, everybody has, it's been shared 100 million times or whatever it is, I just don't think you come across like the right kind of character. You think you're so big time that you're going to put on the shirt of the guy that, of Rashford, who's been loaned out to Villa because you knew things went sour. So you've worn that shirt, you're doing it to get a reaction. Not only that, and I'm happy for you, that you can drive a Ferrari and a Lamborghini and enjoy your time in Ibiza. You're not relating to very many people, so it's hard to feel sympathetic towards you, never mind feel sorry for you that you have to try and find a new club and you're out in your ear at Manchester United. But Martin O'Neill is right. Managers will be looking at that and going, not quite sure of the vibe here, not quite sure I like the cut of your jib. I don't see it. I don't see anybody looking at that and saying, yeah, I'm going to sign him, but no doubt about it, he's an unbelievable talent. I just think he needs to get a bit of a grip. And Rashford recently as well. I hate some of the press that goes around about Rashford, but him and his holiday wearing a Patek Philippe on one wrist and a Rolex on the other wrist. I'm like, okay, you've got two watches on. You probably can't tell the time. That you're coming across like you're just coming across like an idiot, really, wearing two watches. I just think that's all so out of touch. And football fans who are trying to make ends meet to afford season tickets to come and see you playing diabolical and acting the way you do, you relate to absolutely nobody. So yeah, I think it's distasteful with the pictures. He knows what he's done by putting it up and he's trying to get a reaction, Alejandro Garnacho. And fair enough, well played. You've done it, son, but hopefully you do find a new club because I don't want to see you at Manchester United. Right, time now for the front pages with Sam.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front pages first on the early sports breakfast.
talkSPORT.
Bit much?
Well, I mean, that's certainly told him this morning, hasn't it? You've addressed that issue head on.
If I was his mother.
Is that what it is? Do you think you see the Rashford situation from a motherly point of view and think, someone needs to just not just put an arm around his shoulder, but also maybe have a word with him and say, look, why are you presenting yourself like this? Come on, son.
I just think that there's nothing likeable about somebody showing off how much they've got. I don't like that look kind of thing. You can't get everything right all the time, but you've done that for a reaction, and there you go, you've got it.
Now, it's been hot for about, what did you say, 9 days earlier? Is that what you said? You said it's been hot for about 9 days, right?
Baking for a wee while. I'm loving it, Sam. I'm not complaining.
Well, a lot of Brits are, because I'm afraid they're clamouring to book coolcations to escape the sizzling summer. Searches for fresher destinations such as Scandinavia have increased by 47% this summer.
Right.
Honestly. The people in this country,
honestly,
they drive me mad, right? So, no, they do. They do. You all drive me mad. Well, not you, listener, but everybody else who's not listening. Because I think to myself, we've been crying out for warm weather for ages, haven't we? Do you think we've been crying out? We're always complaining in this country about it being cold, about it being wet. Where's the summer? Look at your watch. Oh yeah, summer's been and gone. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yet now we've had 9 days of sunshine and people can't cope with it. They want to go back to the cool. I mean, what is going on here, honestly?
Listen, it's the classic British approach, isn't it? We don't know what we're doing.
You're right. We don't know what we're doing.
Don't know if we're happy. Don't know if we're sad. We're coming. We're going.
Customers have turned their sunburnt backs on. That's very funny. On beach breaks, while demand for the cooler regions of France and Spain have skyrocketed. What about a holiday to Scotland? Would that be a good place to go at the moment? Is it still warm over there?
Well, I spoke to Mum yesterday. She said it was really cloudy and it had been drizzling.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the day before, I think they said on Friday and Saturday they had lovely weather. They said they spent so much time out and about in the garden, and they'd gone taking my niece and nephew down to the beach and whatever, and they'd had a really nice time. Sam, there's parts of Scotland, that North Coast 500 route, which like became big
Oh, yeah.
time during COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody went there, and the pictures were absolutely beautiful. I'd love to do it. I should do it.
I love it up there. It's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful part of the world up in the Highlands. I'm not sure at this time of year because there'll be midges around, wouldn't there? A lot of midges.
I actually went to Luss a couple of weeks ago. I went up the road with the kids, and we were at Luss 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the midges were flying around like it was 6 in the evening on a hot day, trying to bite your head off. I was like,
Get lost. Now, Liam Gallagher should be our Prime Minister. Almost 1 in 8 Brits reckon. More than half of the country is absolutely buzzing for the return of Oasis this summer and count themselves mad for it in a poll. But 47% of Brits are mad for it, who find the band, especially Liam and their mega fans, irritating. 1 in 7 diehard Oasis fans would have Wonderwall as the country's national anthem.
Would you have it? Because you're an Englishman, proud Englishman.
Wonderwall? We've already got a little. I like Oasis a lot, by the way, but I don't know whether Wonderwall is it.
The ideal replacement for God Save the King.
Yeah, I think you want something a bit more rousing, don't you? Wonderwall is a bit sort of. It's a bit of a dirge, isn't it? It's a great song, but it's a bit of a dirge.
I think that could get you well up for it.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Is it also? It's been butchered by too many sort of acoustic guitarists on street corners, hasn't it? With all respect to our busking friends.
Sam, offending everyone this morning.
Do you not think it's also a karaoke ruiner, isn't it?
I remember going to Cancun with the girls when I was young, right? And getting on the bus, and this wee Mexican busker got on and just started blaring out Wonderwall, and the whole place went mad. It was the best bus journey to a club ever. Well, could you just stayed on the bus, went along the Cancun Strip and back again?
That's great.
It's great.
So were they just Oasis mad, or was it?
Yeah, but like you say, everybody had the same song, and it was Wonderwall.
Yes,
which makes me think that would maybe a good anthem.
Very much so. I was rather hoping to find the full list of who the other Prime Minister candidates would be, but this just seems to be a poll about Oasis fans.
Just Noel and Liam Gallagher.
Oasis, Noel and Liam Gallagher.
Throw your hat in the ring.
Yeah, very much so. Now then, I've got another story for you. Fill your boots.
Fill your
boots. What was I going to say? What's the word they say?
Want me to talk about my pink eye?
Oh yeah, go on.
Still got pink eye.
Sounds awkward, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Folks will see more of Glastonbury from their sofa than at the festival after the BBC made its coverage as big as the World Cup. iPlayer viewers will be able to stream continuous live action from the 5 main stages from midday until past midnight on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. What do you make of this? Because it's been kind of criticised in some quarters how full-on the Beeb go with their Glastonbury coverage, but I don't mind a bit of dipping in and out every now and again from the different stages.
I'm completely with you, and then the Sunday night is quite good to get into bed if there's nothing else on and just watch the music and see the crowds. Like, I do enjoy that, but I just think it's the performers are maybe disappointing people at Glastonbury at the moment. Is that
that's interesting. Why? Because they're not giving it everything.
Yeah, like I don't think the names are grabbing people quite the way they used to.
Yeah.
But I won't have a say on that because we've offended enough people today.
The trouble is, I think there's been quite a lot. There's a lot of legends, isn't there? There's a lot of legends that have played already at Glastonbury. So, like, a lot of legendary bands who've played multiple times. So it does get to the point where you think we need either some new legends, which will be happening, I'm sure, soon.
Who are the headliners? Olivia Rodrigo. You see, that's not screaming legend to me. Noah Khan, I like. Niall Rodgers, yes.
Niall Rodgers, yeah.
Rod Stewart, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
Rod's there.
Keep Rod going. I'd switch him around. I'd have Rod close out.
Would you? Oh, that's a good idea.
I'd move Olivia Rodrigo forward a bit.
Yeah.
Organisers, if you are listening, it's a good way to go.
There you go.
You have one more viewer at that time of night.
That's right.
You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT as they all turn off. Coming up next, we'll look ahead to a crucial game for Chelsea in the Club World Cup. Good morning to you. This is Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux. It's Shebahn with you. We've got Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour. It's like a Friday and a Tuesday. We all love that. They're with you on breakfast at 6 o'clock this morning. An incredible guest with the guys here in the studio as well. Aussie tennis star Nick Kyrgios is going to be here with the guys. Kind of seen as like the bad boy of tennis, but very honest, straight talking. Looking forward to hearing from him. Also looking forward to July 19th. It's Oasis, the reunion, the hot ticket that everybody was looking for. The gig in Manchester on the 19th of July. We have the chance to get you there. 2 tickets up for grabs, accommodation in a lovely hotel, and £5,000 completely tax free. You're going to love this. Here's how you can get involved.
Alright, kid. You have to be over 18 to enter in the UK, excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win a pair of tickets to the most electrifying rock and roll reunion of the century, a hotel stay, and £5,000 spending money, all you got to do is text the word Oasis to 83338 by Monday the 7th of July at 11 p.m. and you'll be entered into the draw to go supersonic this summer. Sorted. Right, here's all the legal stuff. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You've got to have the bill payer's permission or post your name and number to Oasis Prize Draw, PO Box 3190, Colchester, CO2 8GP, to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 10th of July. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com.
Good luck to you for that. Good morning to Tony in Manchester. We were talking about Marcus Rashford wearing 2 watches earlier, a Patek Philippe, which is something like £250,000, crazy money, and a Rolex on the other, saying maybe the reason Rashford wears 2 watches is because he can't find a club and he wants to let people know that he's got time on his hands. Very good, Tony. Very good. At 5 to 5 on a Tuesday morning. By the way, tomorrow morning, Chelsea will be back in action in the Club World Cup. They take on ES Tunis, looking to bounce back from the 3-1 defeat against Flamengo last time out. The game is going to be live for you. talkSPORT, 2 a.m. Be there or be square.
Liam Delap crosses from the right. Enzo Fernandez is there. He's turned it home. It's a brilliant goal. It's an assist for Liam Delap on his debut. And the captain's there to wrap up the match from close range for Chelsea. This is an exciting Chelsea team with lots of attacking talent. Reece James, the captain, up towards halfway. And Pedro Neto's got away from the defender, Wesley Franca. And he's racing clear on goal. Right down the middle. And he tucks it away. 2-2 at the Club World Cup for Pedro Neto. It is Flamengo 0, Chelsea 1. And Jackson is off. He is sent off a straight red card for a lunging challenge on the near side touchline. Nicholas Jackson, on his 24th birthday, is sent off. See, here come Flamengo against the 10 men of Chelsea, leading 2-1. Platter into the penalty area, gets it back and shoots. Oh, and Wallace Yan has scored with his first touch. He's put it away, and he's put away Chelsea here in Philadelphia. Glum looks on Chelsea faces, and really, they only have themselves to blame. It has finished Flamengo 3, the 10 men of Chelsea 1.
6 minutes that completely changed the dynamic of the game. I think until the first goal, second half, we start much better compared to the first half. And then the 2 goals in 2 minutes and the red card, I think, changed the dynamic of the game.
What's the vibe, Chelsea fans? Yeah, you need to bounce back against ES Tunis. A bit of heat on Nicholas Jackson. Literally, he'll be roasting right now. Another sending off against Flamengo. Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca saying it's impossible to train right now in Philadelphia due to the excessive temperatures. There's this code red alert, severe weather warnings, 38 degrees going up to 40 degrees in parts of Philly, where Chelsea play in the final group game against ES Tunis. Maresca saying he has to limit any physical exertion for his players. We'll see how it goes for them. 2 a.m. tomorrow morning here on talkSPORT. Chelsea should qualify. A win would do it. Set your alarms for that one. We'll have you covered here on talkSPORT as ever. It's all over the back pages today. Hot Maresca heat makes field training impossible as back page of The Sun, and a lot of love and focus on Headingley and what could be a blockbuster final day in this test for England against India. Let's make history as the headline. Tongue takes key wickets and says England can reach 371, their second highest run chase ever. We'll also have you covered with the cricket here on talkSPORT. Coming up for you, talkSPORT breakfast today, Alan Brazil, Ray Parlour, and get this, the bad boy of tennis, Nick Kyrgios. I'm in there like swimwear. All next on talkSPORT breakfast.